right, guys, so we're halfway through on Defenders.
Holy shit! It won an ending.
Oh yeah, this was a great cliffhanger. Definitely makes you want to see what happens next. They ended up in that Chinese food restaurant.
Yes.
You have all the Defenders and Stick versus Alexandra and
Alexandra the Great.
Yes, Alexandra the Great and Elektra. So that's a. I'm sure it will not actually pan out to be a fight. I feel
Something
like
has
be
to
like,
happen, right?
Smoke, and they're gone or something.
Something has to happen because there's still like the van with the weapons or whatever that apparently didn't bother Jessica Jones throwing a car to the thing.
Yeah, and it seemed originally I thought like, oh cool, she drove through, she took out the thing, and I'm like, I don't know if 6 months rent was worth it, Chinese restaurant people.
No.
But then it's like, oh, she threw a car.
And how did it stop then? Is someone else behind the wheel of that car?
Well, it was in park when she threw it.
Still. Its lights were on, right? Yeah.
Were the lights on?
Tires were screeching. I guess you just pushed it.
I don't know.
That's still hoping a lot.
Interesting though.
I don't know. But a great entrance. A little corny, like walking the line. But I like her like Did Anybody Miss Me? I liked while she's on her own gathering like the whatever to come and do that, she like finds someone, he starts doing moves on her, and she's like, God, so like smacks him and she's like, am I the only person who doesn't know karate? Fuck.
She did one of the most badass moves ever though. She takes that dude's head and just pushes it into the windshield until the windshield starts to break.
I know.
Dope.
Let me know when this starts to hurt. And then you just see like the spiderweb fractures or whatever.
Very cool. Do you know how
how hard you have to push to do that?
I don't even know if that would happen before you just crushed someone's head.
Just flatten your skull? Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure. Because, people, you hit, like a golf club into a windshield. It doesn't break on the first shot. And this is, like crushing, like, Russian
you should
dude's
just
head.
be like a flat, like Gallagher hitting a watermelon.
I don't know. It's certainly not comfortable, I assure you that.
It certainly already hurts, so her question's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, that was good. They spent almost the whole episode in this Chinese
I'm
restaurant,
really happy about that.
Which is weird.
I said when they opened, I hope they just eat Chinese food all episode and they just talk about stuff. But the beginning was so good. It's so fast-paced. It's like Whedon-esque, dialogue back and forth. They're talking to each other. They're having side quips and back and forth. And you're what? Wait, what? Wait, what? And then Danny Rand busts out the Chinese. And it's like, no, sir, it's fine, it's fine. Because they're like, oh, shit. And everyone's like, wait, you're this, wait, you're that. They go through this big thing about Matt not showing his face, but he eventually does. That's cool.
No, it was a character building, episode. They came together. You had a chance for, one of them to leave and come back. They've joined. They're, and showing the faith by letting them know who they actually are and what the deal is. They haven't talked about Elektra yet, but now Elektra's in the room, so I'm sure the next episode will be like, that's Elektra.
Oh, by the way, this is a fun story. No, yeah, it was really good because I really like how so sometimes people just come together instantly and it's really dumb because you're like, wait, you're like, I can't be close to anyone because they get hurt or whatever. Let's dramatically expand our network into all these other people. And you're like, wait, what? But here, and sometimes they act like, I can't, oh, I can. And it's very easy. But here, everyone had their own, Luke Cage, and we didn't talk about it during our last thing, but he really hates Danny because of what he represents, and he calls him out on his, privilege or whatever. That doesn't seem to be, a huge thing, but he definitely takes issue more when Danny, he says no, I gave him a bunch of money, it's great, haha, and then he's giving him this death stare, fucking, are you kidding me? This guy just throws his money around. It was great. So everyone had to earn all their things, is what I'm saying. It was a cool thing.
But if you think about it,
Daredevil didn't want to take off his thing.
Danny is just a hyper version of the other ones because Jessica came from a rich family. She is also white. Daredevil is a white lawyer,
Okay, so I'm glad then we're talking. I was trying not to talk about it.
They're all of privilege.
Yes. So I was trying to not talk about it, but since we are talking about it, which we can't talk about because we're white, but I think it's shoehorned in and weird. I think that the entire Luke Cage series, at some points, was kind of over the top, but walked the line pretty well because it was very racial and very race was a big deal and all that stuff, the cops and they're trying to crack down and the people from the hood are all whatever and all that stuff. That was a whole theme there, and I thought it was handled pretty well. At the end of the day, I was like, oh, this is cool because they really did present it in a way that I liked a lot. But here, out of the blue, out of nowhere, Luke Cage has known people of all different sorts of races and things, and like, yeah, why does he have this huge issue with Danny Rand? Because he was like following up Lee, like he's doing what Luke Cage does.
It definitely
he's gonna go out and bust heads or whatever.
The times are what they are, and they have to like do something.
It feels more shoehorned in here. I feel like somebody in like the writers' room was like, well, no, Luke Cage is like the people's champion, the hero of Harlem or whatever. He should hate this like rich boy Danny Rand, but like you're saying, like he would have that against a lot of people or whatever. It doesn't really make sense.
I think all of it would have been fine. Like the whole pros thing. It was the moment that he said like white boy to him. I was like that seems a little much.
That's what I mean. Like,
because he's not displayed any characteristics in that nature towards any of the other white privileged characters he's met.
I know, and like I don't like the word privilege, and I think it's a little like over the top. I hope they just drop it and it's fine though. I don't know.
It seems from here on in they're going to be all fine and dandy and a team and
right, because like in the original conversation where it all came out, it didn't sound like it kind of came out of left field for me. Like they were arguing, and I thought I knew why. Back in the dojo, in like episode 2.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then all of a sudden, he's just like, what? And I'm like, wait, what? No. This guy's obviously like severely autistic and knows magical kung fu. Like is the most important thing about him that he's white? Like, what are you talking about?
They're definitely going to have a thing where it's going to be like the Raphael Casey Jones relationship, where they're going to become like boys.
Like
I think they
people.
will be the tightest by the end of this series. Yeah,
that makes sense because for opposite reasons, Jessica and Matt seem to have like very much like I do not want friends right now.
Well, because one of them, like them, they're also kind of the opposite. Where one's like, follow the law, I'm a lawyer. One of them's like, nah, I'm a private investigator.
Well,
I do what I have to do.
Well,
functioning alcoholic, just
it,
like straight-laced good boy,
meditator and ponderer of the universe. I know exactly. No, I think Luke Cage and Iron Fist could have a thing. I dig that.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be good.
They both work with youths in a way.
Sure.
Okay.
Youths,
if you will. So yeah, when we were not at the Chinese food restaurant, we got to tour around like a little bit. It kept cutting to the bad guys doing some stuff. Mm-hmm. We got to see her have this subtitled conversation with a bear hunter, a scary-looking dude, who I think might be one of the 5 fingers of the hand.
I thought that's what they were leading towards.
It seemed
I thought
that
he
way.
was one of the fingers.
I was so confused because I thought they were talking about one guy, the guy that got his head chopped off, and the guy that
was Nanto,
Nobu. But that was the thing, because later when they listed all 5, I was like, oh fuck, he's one of the other guys. Who am I? Who's the other guy they're talking about? So we know that it's Gao, Sigourney Weaver, and then a Japanese person, someone else, and it's like. And the African, I guess, the white hat dude.
Yeah, white hat's one of them.
Yeah, Sawawi, whatever the fuck. So yeah, that's cool. So that explains why he was not really shitting his pants when like Elektra was walking towards him, right? Because he's one of like the 5 chosen ones and could conceivably handle it or whatever. But no, that's cool. We're gonna get those 2 guys back. I don't think Nobu's dead though, right? At the end of Daredevil season 2.
They put him in a pot, right?
Yeah. Didn't he get scooped up?
I thought so. But I'm sure they'll let us actually know.
That'll be a fucking reveal. We have all 5 people.
So, while most of this episode did take place inside of this Chinese restaurant, we did get a cool thing where, like, all of a sudden, Alexander's, like, there. And when Stick went, like, do you remember his exact words? It was like, when he first realized she was there, he's like, oh my God, or like something like that. Something to the effect of that. And I pictured the next moment was going to be Elektra's sword plunging through his chest. And I was a little disappointed that wasn't it, because I thought that Stick won't be around forever. That just seems obvious. And I thought that would be a great, like, holy shit, because you wouldn't think it's coming. Like just how I didn't see him cutting his hand off, I would not necessarily assume he's going to get stabbed through the back. Yeah,
because like Stick delivered a lot of exposition in this, and it was a cool thing with him with like, yeah, we're the Chased, we're your army, Danny. It's like I have an army. It's like they're all dead. You're like, oh God, or whatever. So like this would be like a nice like he met up with people, he like helped to facilitate them coming together. He dumped the exposition. I think his role may be done unless they have something else planned or something.
That was my thought. Was this would be a great episode for him to exit.
I think he will die
when he tried the
in
boss,
the next episode.
Jessica, he's like, shut down and shut up, and she just leaves.
Smash cut to her walking out the door, like fuck this. Yeah, I like how this is shaping up, right? Because you get I always forget if I should say the name or like the super name or whatever the fuck.
Don't even know what you're talking about, so
yeah.
Say anything.
No, like Luke Cage and Iron Fist had that dumpling moment
Sure.
or whatever, but they had that because Stick was talking to, Daredevil.
Yeah,
but then earlier, Luke Cage runs after Jessica, and that leaves Matt and them to have their talk or whatever. I really liked the whole, like, stop treating me like a kid. He's like, stop acting like a kid. And all that stuff. They had their, like, fucking squabbling and stuff like that. That was dope.
I think it's funny, too, that, like, part of our deal is that the guy made me order 2 of everything or 4 of everything.
4 of everything, yeah.
And I'm like, why not just say, pay me this much money? Why actually have to waste the food?
No, that's so crazy to me. And obviously, I made a joke like, well, it uses a lot of calories to use their powers. And they actually said it. And I was like, that's great. Why does that only apply to you with your fucking chi? Because that's, like, logically how it would work. Even if, like, you're meditating to heal and you have whatever.
Yeah, you
like,
still need the food.
None of these people have arc reactors or magic hammers or anything from which they could, like, no excuses like, well, they get their power from, like, the Shadow Zone or something like that. So they should all need calories to, like, use their powers a lot or whatever. So I dig that. But they didn't really lean into that too hard. And, yeah, it's really dumb that they were like, he made me order all this food. So they're in the back, like, fucking trucking through, making all this food the whole time. And, like, overhearing their conversations to whatever extent the cooks hear English or whatever, right?
He has his credit card. He can just keep swiping. He doesn't have to do anything else.
I don't know, but I like it because it leads to, like, the dumpling moment.
Sure.
And it leads to the whole, like, fucking hanging out, popping food in your mouth, talking about, like, hey, we have to work together. A lot of other bullshit.
Yeah.
But I really liked, during the conversation with the bear hunter, they dropped something that I wanted to mention.
What's that?
So they talk about, we're going to bring these people together. The other one, they say, is he on his way too or whatever? And that turns out to be, like, the other person of, like, the 5.
Yes.
Not sure if it's Nobu, like, coming out of his pot.
Said the last time the 5 of us were all together, what happened? Oh, like, was it Pompeii and...
Oh, yeah, that's my other note, right? Pompeii, Chernobyl. New York City's next or whatever. And I'm like, oh, shit. And they were all cover-ups. Oh, my God. I like alternate history stuff.
I love that shit, yeah.
But the other thing he says is, he says, like, okay, and the other one, okay, good. And what about the vessel? And she goes, oh, it's more powerful than you could possibly imagine. And he goes, oh, so does that mean that our leader will be gracing us with whatever the fuck? And she says, I do what I have to do, or something, along those lines. So I think this supports the theory that she's going to use, like, Elektra's body as a vessel and put her stuff into it or whatever.
It's certainly
Put her juice inside of, Elektra's soul.
Do you think that she's the one signing all those papers? Because all the deeds were signed and sold by the same people over the last.
I just assumed. So yeah, Jessica Jones is off, investigating and pulls up some modern microfiche type shit.
Do you think she's changed vessels before?
Yes.
Because it's weird to think that, like, your handwriting is tied to your brain. Like, do you think?
I think it is.
Do you think so?
Yeah, because if you have, like, a stroke, you can't write as good.
No, I don't. That's
that
obvious.
That proves it, Stefan.
That makes you not have the ability to move your hands and stuff properly. What I'm saying is, if I were to jump into your body, would my handwriting be the same, or would it be affected by your hand?
I think that it would, because, like, I think if I went to someone else's body, I could still play guitar. I'd have to maybe learn how to use their fingers a little bit, but I could still play guitar because that's my brain doing that, not my fingers.
I don't know. Because you'd still have the same tendon responses.
I'll say that may not be a great example because you have, like, like finger strength involved, but writing your name is pretty generic.
Maybe.
I believe that you would have the same handwriting, which makes every single body switching, body snatching, body whatevering thing a bunch of horse shit. Thank you for clearing this up to me. Because that's never what they do, right? It's always no one ever says, I knew that like you had possessed them because your handwriting was the same. No, that's like never come up before.
No.
But yeah, there were names there like Desiree Fletcher or some shit like that, right? They were not all the same names, right? But the same weird, dumb, like generic Microsoft Word clip art handwriting. My, like, counter answer to you is even if I did have the same handwriting, I'd fucking change it. Because otherwise, that's really dumb.
At least on the signatures that have both the handwritings.
Just make up a new chicken scratch signature. But it led to a plot point where she thinks that she's been around for like 300 years, whatever it would be.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I like. And I also want eternal life.
Are there any more little button points on this?
Am I the only one left that doesn't know how to use karate? Elektra, is Eye in the size?
Eye in the size, yes. It made it look like she might have had a little click back to her past, which and not only did we notice the slight delay while he said Elektra, they called it out, so it actually did happen. Cool. It wasn't something we just did that just happen?
Oh yeah, we questioned it like, well, was that a recognition? Like, do you know my name?
Yeah, but he thought it was also a recognition.
Yeah, well, he thinks so. At least Stick kind of shatters that by saying, "Don't try to make sense of this kid. We're gonna fucking we gotta cut her. Yeah. We gotta cut her open and turn her inside out." What?
Who knows though?
I think that they would not bring it up like that unless there's hope of her memory coming back or something.
Seeing
like
the size, is a huge one. Not that he has any insights to that happening, but we do as an audience, and
she used them in
something interesting where
like
even if she gets taken over as the vessel, maybe she's still in there and kills herself at the end or some bullshit.
Oh, okay, I could see that. Oh, that's probably it. Right, because they can't defeat her. She's all powerful. She has all the fingers of the hands in her and all that stuff, and she's fucking doing her shit. She has the.
By that point, she would have all the fingers and the fist.
It'd be she'd have fingers and fists and hands and everything all up in her pies and all that stuff. It'd be a whole Blackbird situation.
That's my guess.
And then she'd have to be the one, right? She'd have to be like, Matt, oh shit, what am I doing?
Give me my size.
I'm gonna size you up, girl. I don't. She did use the size back in Daredevil, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought there might be a thing where like they were involved, but she didn't use them or something like that.
I thought she used them all the time, but I could be totally.
I know that they are her signature weapon. So either way, this is her looking at them, being like, "That's what I should be using. Why did I pick this most awesome sword in the world that like folds apart or whatever? How does that work? What is that?
Oh, it's two halves of a sword.
It like clips together.
I picture like two little like nubs, and while your hand is on it, it's just holding it shut.
Does that mean that each handles like doesn't feel right when it's separate or something?
Probably.
I don't like that.
I love it.
I don't like that stuff.
Or they're like perfect half circles on different parts where your hand could go, and it clicks together like in other parts that aren't whole.
I guess, but then when you separate it, right, it's like those toys where you would like separate something, and you would be like each holding like half of a scissors.
Yeah.
It'd suck.
Wonderful. All right, so that's pretty much what happens in this episode. We'll call this Chinese takeout or whatever they may.
Oh, did I have a pun for this? I don't think so.
No.
some sort of Chinese restaurant thing.
So don't die in a fire. Let us know what you thought about this episode in the comments below, and we will see you with episode 5.